Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be reviewing the new Jaclyn Hill and Morphe collaboration. This is the Volume 2 eyeshadow palette. So if that's something that you guys are interested in hearing a little bit more about, make sure you keep on watching, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. I was so stinking happy when Jaclyn announced that she was coming out with a brand new collaboration with Morphe, and when she revealed what the collaboration was going to be, the eyeshadow palette, the color story in particular spoke volumes to me. And as you may know, I am on a low buy / no buy this year. I definitely don't want to be spending any more money on makeup. I really want to concentrate on the stuff that I already have in my collection, but I did tell myself this year that I was going to go ahead and spend money on products that I absolutely could not live without. Something that was so unique and special that it just had to be in my collection. And this just happened to be one of the items that I wanted to spend my hard-earned money on. This palette did launch on February 13th, and so I went over to the Morphe store in person, and that's where I ended up buying my palette. Now with my palette, I did end up getting this silver makeup bag for free. I had no idea this was even a promotion that they were doing. I don't think Jaclyn really talked about it, and Morphe didn't really talk about it. There was just a sign up that I saw that said, buy a palette, get a bag. And so I bought a palette and I got a bag. And it's actually pretty cute. I wouldn't say it's super soft. It does hold its shape quite nicely. The zipper works really well, and there's quite a bit of space inside. This is actually a bag that I would use for all of my makeup brushes when I'm on the go or traveling. I think it's quite nice. Bag aside, I did get the palette and I love it. It has such beautiful packaging. As you can see, it is a white box. It does have beautiful silver embossed writing. It says Jaclyn Hill Palette Volume 2. You've got some pertinent information on the back, like the ingredients. You have a beautiful picture of Jaclyn as well as a message from her on the back of the box. When you do open up the box, you get your palette, which does come inside bubble wrap. I really appreciate that. It keeps everything nice and safe. And then this is what the palette looks like. I love the packaging of Volume 2, probably more so than Volume 1, because this has a beautiful glossy finish to it. If it gets dirty, it's very easy to wipe crap away. Again, you have the silver embossed writing. There's really nothing on the back of the palette except the pertinent information down here. This is the one thing that I've always given feedback to indie brands, especially those who are creating palettes, is to put the ingredients on the back of the eyeshadow palette and not just the box that it comes in, because everyone throws away the box and sometimes you may want to refer back to an ingredient list. I don't always like to keep packaging. I throw it all away, but I just want to see the ingredients on the back of the actual palette. That's all that I'm saying. When you crack it open, there is a protective layer that comes with it. I've obviously taken that off at the moment, and that is what the palette looks like. It is absolutely stunning. I love this color story. I think you have a little bit of everything in here for everyone. There's some gorgeous neutrals up top. We've got yellows and golds. There's some corals and oranges, bright pinks, purples, some reds, a great matte black color. I mean, all of these shadows are wonderful. And something to note about this palette is that it is a combination of pressed pigments as well as eyeshadows. So there are two different formulations in here. And for anybody who is curious, the eyeshadows are I'm In It, Ride or Diamonds, Talia, Get Ready With Me, Bougie, Drama Queen, Flawed and Odd, A Moment, Good Place, Paolo. We also have Certified, Love Handles, A Thick Skin, Homebody, G Money, Grateful Perfectionist, and and Temptress. Those are all the eyeshadows. And for pressed pigments, we have Comfort Zone, Feeling Myself, Positivity, My Man, Hard On, Therapy Sesh, Lolly Mama, Tipsy Girl, Next, Dance Party, Stay True, Not My Journey, Oh Hello, Living My Best, No Joke, and Crazy. While I'm not going to be doing a deep dive into the ingredients in this review, I am going to do a brief overview just to let you know what the usual suspects are. But just before I dive into those ingredients, I should let you know that this palette was manufactured in China and the shelf life of it is 12 months. Now, onto the ingredients. With both the eyeshadow and the pressed pigment formulation, we do have carmine included as an ingredient. With the use of carmine, we obviously know that this is not a vegan formulation, nor was it ever advertised to be one. So let's all keep that in mind. But carmine is in here as an ingredient. We also have bismuth oxychloride in here, which could be an irritant, ultramarines, red lake 40, and titanium dioxide. The other thing that I noticed about the formulation of the shadows and pressed pigments is that we do have some oils included. They're not necessarily mineral oils, but if you don't like that type of stuff in the formulation of your eyeshadows, then I'm not sure if this would be a formulation you would enjoy. But on the back of the palette, it does say that these do contain jojoba seed oil, coconut oil, as well as shea butter. So those are listed as ingredients. Personally speaking, I do have an allergy to coconuts, primarily if I ingest them, not necessarily if I put them on my skin. However, I do proceed with caution when I do see a product that contains coconut oil or coconut butter. Since I have had these shadows on my eyes for a couple of days now, I can tell you that I have experienced a zero allergic reaction. I haven't blown up into hives. I haven't gone into anaphylactic shock. So for me, it's been safe to use, but I can't say the same about everybody else. I always tell everybody to just do a patch test with a brand new product to make sure it's going to be okay on your skin. If it causes irritation, obviously discontinue use. If it feels pretty good, then keep on using it. The one thing that the back of this palette does tell you, and of course we all know this at the moment, is that eyeshadows are safe for eye use, but pressed pigments technically are not. So again, proceed with caution. Given my experience with this formulation and this palette, I haven't experienced any irritation or any issues, so I feel pretty comfortable going ahead and using these shadows. Since this is a volume 2 palette, I did want to crack out the first palette, which I also own. It is right here. And if I open this up, take away this protective layer, you can see just how much more neutral this palette is, even though it does have a couple of bright pops of color. And when I actually combine forces and put these two palettes next to each other, you can hopefully see just how well they complement one another. And I think you can create an infinite number of looks if you continue to use both of these palettes together. But if you don't want to use them together for whatever reason, I think you can create a crap ton of looks with just this palette over here. Some people might say this is a very, very bright palette, but honestly, it is super wearable. Now, I know I've got more of a brighter eye look going on today. The reason I did that is because I wanted to play with as many shadows as possible so you guys can see how well things apply. But if you take a look at these two rows here in particular, I think there are plenty of neutral colors in there where you can keep these looks a little more toned down. And when you feel like dabbling into a little bit of color, you can certainly shift and go into some of the purples, the reds, the oranges, and create more pop kind of looks. In terms of favorite colors, I do have a couple that I have really been gravitating towards. Drama Queen up here is the first one. I think it is such a beautiful, almost glitter type metallic shadow. It definitely has a beautiful bronzy finish, but it does have pink and purple as well as gold glitter infused in it. Another eyeshadow that I love in here is this bright yellow, which is called No Joke. Ooh, it feels so buttery and soft when you swatch it with your finger, and it is such a beautiful pop of yellow. It's certainly not a neon yellow, but it's a nice golden yellow, which I think is actually better for the masses who are going to be using this palette, not just the makeup artists, because you can certainly blend this down and make it a little more wearable, so it doesn't necessarily have to be a huge pop of color, but you can certainly make it that if that's what you're looking for. The other color that I have really been gravitating towards is Therapy Sesh, which is this lighter purple color over here. It does feel a little bit neon, and I just think it looks so amazing on the eyes. I did use this the other day to create a bit of a halo eye look, and I thought it looked so beautiful. And honestly, every time I look at this eyeshadow palette, that is one of the first colors my eyes zone in on. And when I'm not looking at Therapy Sesh, I am certainly looking at, oh hello, this beautiful burgundy red color. And it reminds me of Venetian red from the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. I think it is such a beautiful burgundy red. It goes so nicely on the eyes. It's very, very easy to blend out. I think it is just beautiful. And another color that I really, really love is I'm In It, which is right up here. It looks a little bit dull on camera, and honestly, I have a really hard time showing off this color because of the way it looks in the pan. But when you put this puppy on your eyes, I am telling you, it sparkles so beautifully. So it does look like it has a white base, but it has a purple shift to it. It is what I'm wearing in the inner corners of my eyes at the moment, and I love how it really brings my look to life. Those are just some of the standout colors for me at the moment, but there are so many other ones in here that are so good that I love to work with. In terms of creating looks with this palette, I have gone ahead and created 3 separate looks, including the one that I am wearing on my eyes today. I did that because I really wanted to show you guys how you can create a bunch of different looks with different tones. For one look, I ended up steering more towards these red tones over here, and then the other one was a little more purple. And then with the look that I'm wearing today, it is certainly bright, and I kind of use more of this middle area of the palette. I haven't dabbled into any of the more neutral colors because I figure we know the neutral colors are gonna work really well. I don't really want to showcase those as much as some of the brighter pops of color so you can see them in action. What I'm gonna do now is insert 3 mini tutorials so you guys can see how all of these eyeshadows work and how well you're able to apply them to your eyes. They are 3 very different looks, and I hope you enjoy.
I get lost inside my thoughts, and when I start to think, oh, how close it starts to end up on the brink. I tried so hard, but all these scars, they cut so deep I bleed. I fell so fast from heaven, it's like someone clipped my wings. Now I'm falling, and I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe, and I don't wanna die. Can we stop this gravity? 'Cause I don't wanna say goodbye. I laid awake just begging to let go. I almost got to suicidal thoughts, but you stepped in. An angel sent from heaven showed me how to live again. Now I'm falling. gravity, it keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe and I don't wanna die. Can we stop this gravity? 'Cause I don't wanna say goodbye.
Today is definitely one of my favorites. I think it is so fun. It is bold. I certainly used a lot of colors from this eyeshadow palette, and I think it turned out really well. I definitely don't think this is an eye look that I would wear to the office, but this is certainly something that I would wear for a fun night out. My biggest takeaway with this particular palette is how beautifully all of these matte colors apply. I had zero issues getting them down on my eyes and blending them out. What I am going to tell you about the shimmers in particular, so colors like Talia, Drama Queen, Rider Diamonds, Get Ready With Me, Bougie, I think all of those colors apply best with your finger as opposed to a brush. I'm not saying that you can't get them to work if you use a brush, but I feel like you need to build them up a little bit more and probably use some type of spray in order to make them look really metallic. But personally, I'm going to continue using my fingers. I think they are the best method of application for those shades. The other thing that I noticed about this palette is how much kick up there is in the pan when you're dipping your brushes in there. I'm going to insert a short clip of how much kick up I actually got in each eyeshadow pan when I was creating the look that I've got right now. You can see that there is a lot of excess shadow that does come up. It doesn't really bother me. It might bother some, but honestly, I blow it away and I continue on with my day. And the last thing I'm going to mention is that some of these matte colors, and you might not be able to see this really well on camera, but you can certainly see it in person, is that they do contain a little bit of glitter in them. Very, very slight. And you can't really see it when you start applying it onto your eyes because I feel like the glitter just goes away and the matte colors just end up blending out beautifully. But I remember in Jaclyn's reveal video, she did talk about that, and she said the glitter was inserted into some of these matte colors because it would end up blending a little bit better. I'm not sure if it's because of the emollients that needed to be used or what it was, but the colors ended up working beautifully with the glitter. So don't shy away from them just because they have a little bit of sparkle. It does go away and it still looks matte on the eyes. And that glitter can be found in particular with Living My Best, so this bright red color over here. I also see it in Dance Party, which is the magenta. We've got it in Temptress, which is this beautiful dark black color. And I also see it in Not My Journey, which is the purple down here, as well as Therapy Sesh. So all of those have just very, very tiny flecks of glitter. Overall, I would not hesitate to recommend this palette. I think it is a wonderful one. It is 50 Canadian dollars, so it is a little bit up there in price, but I do think you get a lot of different colors in here, quite a bit of product, and it's a formula that I don't think you're going to be disappointed with. Don't forget to let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this palette. Are you going to go ahead and purchase it? Or if you've already gone ahead and purchased it, what do you think of it? And that's gonna do it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed the review. If you did, you know what to do. Give it a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. If you want to keep up with me outside of YouTube, you can always do that by following me on all of my social media, which I will link for you in the description box below. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you are all having an amazing day, no matter where you are in the world. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!